Sweet.
Hey, and welcome everybody to our 4th episode of Gaming the Formed Opinion.
Woo!
Gaming the Formed Opinion. GTFO. Happy to be
Thanks
here.
for
I am.
speaking the comma.
Yeah,
you had
for
to
you
throw that
grammar
in there. Yeah,
Nazis.
it's one of those. You got to throw that in there. Gaming, comma. So I am Don, also known as Scrivian in most of the gaming worlds. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Steve, known as
Yo.
Marker, and Dwayne, known as Greer Reaver.
It's me.
Hopefully we'll have a
It's
good, exciting,
you.
fun show as we did last week. The first thing I want to do a shout out to the slack-ass Isaac Clark, who said he was going to be joining us. And I want to make sure this is on public, saying he was supposed to be joining us, not this week, but next week, and now is having some other issues. So,
Oh, what was it
Yeah.
you said? Dude, I don't have a computer.
yeah. Yeah, I've got the graphic ready to go. 4
See?
slots, Windows, new picture. It looks great. I can
It's
preview it.
because
I can
he
pull it
bought
up.
an Apple like 800 years ago, and he's like still paying it off. There's really
Can
no
you-
way to buy
Yeah.
a new
Can you
PC once you
believe-
go Apple.
That dude
Yeah.
was
Terrible.
gaming. Was it Rift that he played on a Mac?
Yeah, on a Mac.
Oh my god. I'm sure there's Mac people are going to hear this. They're going to be like, but you could do that, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know what it is. Well, you would think he would have. He has a Mac then, right? He should be good for all that YouTube stuff and let's get some.
Yeah.
Isn't that video and sound editing? Is
He
that
should be editing
Apple's
this,
big
I
thing?
I think
Where the
so,
fuck
yeah.
are you at, man? That's what we're saying.
Seriously, Isaac, you slacker. All right, well, cool. Well, we have a good show planned tonight. Again, 3 big topics. Supposed to be 4. Oh, it's 3. But we'll keep pinging on that. I think maybe he's just afraid to be on the. She's intimidated by the hosts that he has to deal with.
I
think
agree.
that's what it is. He hasn't been in TeamSpeak in a while and hasn't joined us, so he's kind of worried
I agree.
that he's going to be able to keep up or not. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and Dwayne, we put you saved yours for last week, and I think we're going to go with you first this week. Go with your topic.
I'm number
Yeah.
1.
See, the cool thing is because
no.
we never really discuss what we discuss what we're going to talk about. We really don't talk about what order we're going to do it. We kind of just wing it as we go. That makes it fun.
Well,
a little more dynamic and fun.
I actually totally knew I was going first, and I don't know if I had ESP on you, but I knew I was going first, and I'm glad because I was getting cut off last week, and fuck
I
that.
knew I was going first. I had
Okay.
ESPN. I'm sorry.
Now, so this week the thing I want to talk about is the next big game. And I don't actually have a next big game picked like, oh, this is going to be it, because who the hell knows what that is? But that's actually what I want to talk about. Like, it seems like we are as part of a multi-game community, and it seems like gamers as a whole these days, we've talked about gamer ADD recently, like we're looking for it, the next big thing, and we always seem to think we found it. Somebody inevitably pops on. We see it in our forums, like, this is the one, and we all jump on the bandwagon because we don't care, we're sheep. Like, hey, it's a good game. And why do you think we keep doing it? And here's the real question is, like, what happens if we all do find the next big game? Like, what's the one game that rules it all? And what happens if we find it?
You end up
I
like
don't know.
Damos.
Well, that's true. That's true. We do have a group of people in our gaming community, the Tempest gaming community, and we do have our Guild Wars 2 group has been pretty steady in staying in there, staying focused, doing guild events, running stuff. I mean, running either whether it's the new Fractal stuff or doing all the new living story events that come in there. They're on our calendar. Boom, boom, boom. Always have stuff planned. And I think what it comes down to in Guild Wars 2 is, one, again, it's a decent game. I mean, it's engaging, has a lot of things people like. But I would also throw that on the leadership of being very involved. I think
Absolutely.
one of the things, I think for us, I think one of the things that's been lacking has been leadership in games. And the funny thing is, three of us are leaders in those games, of leaders staying focused or really, and I guess it comes into, you're right, the next big game, having your heart in the game. I mean, this is going to lead into my topic later, but I mean, how do you know?
That's
what
I mean. Like,
new big game is.
Like, let's say that, like, for sake of argument, let's say we find the next big game, and it really is, and it, like, literally is the game that, like, everyone's just like, this is the game. Then what happens? Like, does game development halt? Does that become some sort of, like, does it go, like, movie style, and that becomes some sort of, like, weird alternate life because it's the game, and everybody fucking has to play it because it's
That's
the most
what
amazing
Sims
thing?
did.
I mean, honestly, like, and you know, like, what, I don't know, I know, you know, what it is that keeps sucking me into all these games. These guys just make a cinematic, and, you know, like, if anybody ever makes a cinematic game, it's over.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
but I mean, that's
play.
trailers.
Cinematic me for like 12 hours. I'll sit here. Good with it.
What do you got, Steve? What are you saying?
Oh, I'm good. I'm actually a ginormous sucker for the trailers, man. Whether it's movies or most especially it'll be games. If you get somebody that can put together just a fantastic trailer, you know, with all the cool cinematics, and it's the awesome music, I can see like a minute and a half or 2 minute freaking trailer, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the next best thing. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna freaking play that. I swear to God, I'm gonna play that.
Oh, here's a good example is even in our forums where we're talking about the next big game. You're talking about that, and we've thrown up the last couple of videos we've thrown in are the WildStar videos, from housing to even, and somebody threw the one in there on movement, and I didn't watch it. I was like, I'm not, why I don't give a move. Okay, WASD, or I'm going to use my joystick, or what. I move, cool, I can jump. I hope it's not like Final Fantasy before the update. I'll be able to jump. So it's like, all right. But then again, you watch the trailer, and I was like, you know what? That was a great video that the WildStar team did to put it together. I mean, just to show what is possible in there. Now, if you throw that in there, and I mean, if you're looking at movement and you're comparing it with all the other games, but I don't know. I think you put together a well-developed trailer. The problem is, I mean, a lot of games. I mean, do they live up to the trailer hype? You look at it and go, "Oh, I want to be able to do that." Oh,
I have a little trailer
cool
beef with WildStar because it seems like they keep putting out new little mini trailer clips. But then it's like, hey, look, here's this guy fighting this same boss that we showed you fight him in the last trailer clip. And here he is again. And look, there he is. Look at his cool. Like, that's the same guy. I mean, it's cool, but you're not tricking me.
Here we are. We're fighting the boss. Now I'm using a dagger. I'm using a dagger to fight the boss. Now I'm going to shift. I'm shifting to a short sword.
The goofy housing video, whatever. It's still going to be. I think it's going to be a great game. Again, it's one of those games that it's the next fucking big game, man.
Not
it's
for me. I mean, I think I'm going to play it and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to be with the Timbers group doing that. But I don't know. It doesn't hit me as my next big game. So I don't know. But then again, I mean, I don't know. Can any game be the game that players want? I mean, you think about the games that they're compared to, and I'll stick to the success. I mean, to the ones that are still going: World of Warcraft, EverQuest.
Yeah. EverQuest.
EverQuest is still played. EverQuest 2, EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2.
Oh,
they're still being played.
EverQuest Next was just a big announcement, man.
I know. EverQuest Next is...
Again,
I thought he was referring to EQ1. I thought, oh my God, who do we know playing EQ1?
I do. Actually, I have real-life friends who I met last Thanksgiving who still play. Huh? Yeah, wow, that was kind of a bad thing. Okay, friends I know in person who I have physically met. How's that? You guys
that's
friends.
perfect.
You guys you're my friends. Really, you're my friends.
Yeah, you're my friends, cool. You bitches.
So these friends I met last Thanksgiving still play EQ1, have played EQ1 since release, and still raid in EQ1 with their large guild.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right.
Now,
But
Walker,
yeah, I
would
mean, it's
would
like
you still be playing
yeah.
Galaxies now if it was original style and they had just added on, or
You
Lineage
would.
2
Oh,
for you?
absolutely.
Lineage 2 for you if it had continued the quality and you stopped being banned. Would you still be
Actually,
playing
but
it?
just as like I've said in the past, with me, I just have like a few attributes that I have to have when it comes to a game. I know it's very shallow on the gaming side of it. You give me those, like the initial interview I had way back when. You give me the Korean armor and the Korean ridiculously huge weapons and the awesome graphics with awesome movement. I don't give a shit what your story is as long as I'm around cool people. If I can hang out with cool dudes, like if Lineage 2, if you gave me the original core from Inquisition or IS, oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah,
So you're
absolutely, I'd
saying
be playing.
So you're saying for us, our group, if it was like the three of us and like and the people in Tempest that we like, we
Did you just say that, really?
what? I like everybody. I like everybody in Tempest. But
You goddamn
so you're
liar.
Right now,
So-
that's pretty much limited to cirrhosis. I don't don't tell them, but
It's not like he's watching or anything.
so if we found a game and we said, all right, we're all going all in this game, and we were all in it having fun, that would be our next big game. We'd be
Yeah.
okay with that. You think if we were
I
like,
would.
screw it, we're just going to play through?
I would be.
Cool.
this
As long
guy,
as
this
that's
guy's
cool.
Terra. You know what I mean? He's like, as long pretty sword, pretty armor. I will beat the same mob reskinned over and over and over again
that-
for 800 hours. I don't care.
That was because of the
He's
Harper-led
down.
coup that he left him bitter.
Don't get me fucking started on that again. I swear
That's
to
another
God.
man.
topic. That's another topic. That's another topic.
I almost made that one of my topics here. Not this one of these last times.
We
I thought,
you know what? We
how
can
to
talk-
how
we
to
can talk about
survive?
that.
How to
guild-
lose a guild in one election session.
Yeah.
Kind of like a stupid Hollywood movie.
How to have everything going your way, and in like 24 hours, it could be you're sitting on the street with a beggar's bowl.
Will
You would have
PDE
thought
for
you got
food.
blown in the Oval Office because you were impeached, my friend.
Oh shit! Didn't Mocker used to run this guild? Yeah, we don't know a Mocker, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Dude, in fairness, nobody did know you because you weren't on. Get out of You weren't on.
I was
Yeah.
getting my goddamn. I was in school.
He was,
I was-
man.
he was finishing, doing his master's degree.
There's
so.
no.
Yeah.
There was no mercy. It's like, dude's not on.
none. Hey, it's
Replace
like,
him.
I
Dude's
know
not
you're
on,
trying to
replace him.
better yourself, but
Well, now,
You know,
see, now
I
that
think if you're
we've
elected Van Ark of a province, I don't think you need
Well,
to get a degree after that. That's like the top, right? I
you
mean,
think-
you.
well,
was.
you know, one of the issues is, and the problem with the whole thing is, Mocker would have survived. You know, we've completely gone off. This is another topic. See, we are getting 4 topics tonight.
yeah,
See,
go for it.
Steve would have survived. There wouldn't have been a coup had Inmask designed the guild controls such that he could delegate power.
Yes.
That was the
Yes.
issue. Only the guild leader could do anything in the guild.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the problem.
Yes, if only the
he's writing
game had
papers
been
and doing
designed.
research. Yeah.
where he could be Van Ark and then everyone else do all the work.
Seriously.
It would
Why
have been
could-
perfect.
That's what
Why
officers
could-
are
why
for,
couldn't-
man.
Yeah, well, where was the Van Ark app? Seriously, if you're going to launch nowadays, guild leader needs an app.
You know, I
Maybe
hear
they're
they still
gonna
don't
get it.
have
Maybe
that
it's
shit
coming.
set
I don't
up
know.
right.
Who knows?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Well, it's definitely
Anyhow.
not coming with Titan.
Yeah, poor Titan.
Oh, shit.
That was sort of could have fit into my topic too, just because. Oh,
Is that the
again.
next big game? No, now next big is okay. So the next big games coming back on topic are the next big games coming out are what? Final Fantasy supposedly for
Final
some people.
Fantasy.
Final
I
Fantasy
don't even-
14.
Wildstar.
I wouldn't play the Final Fantasy if someone paid me a salary to do it.
I'll probably play it in level to max level.
I
I probably
didn't
will.
play the first one, but
Oh,
then
well,
they
no,
put
it's
that
just-
cinematic out there.
There you
So
go.
gonna
You
have to
your-
play because that was
you
the
have to-
shit.
Square Enix
then,
and I, if we ever meet each other on the street, we're gonna have a problem.
Okay, so we got
But-
Final Fantasy Wildstar.
Yeah, I'm in WildStar.
Okay, so there's Wildstar going in there. I don't think there's anything else coming out this year.
No, and like I said, like the two. I think the two that I don't know, the two that I consider the two most anticipated are Titan recently getting pushed back, and then
Forever.
the fact that people still play EQ1
Oh, EQ
makes
Next.
me
You're
think
right, EQ Next.
Next will be
Well,
at least something that everybody's
I
going to
don't
be
know,
like,
you
this is
know-
going to be. But
we've got a bunch of EQ players, and I look at it the same way as, and I didn't list repopulation. Repopulation, I don't know. I think it's going to end of the year or next year, probably early next year, whatever. Whenever it actually comes out, I said the thing with that is I can't list that as one of our next big games because there's only like 3 of us who plan on playing it that I know of right now. Because I mean it's a sandbox, which means there's PvP, and that's what I look back and I'm like, well, how's EQ next going to be? Because that's sandbox, and some of our touchy-feely members might not want to play that. I mean, we almost had a coup before we got into Terra when we were talking about going PvP.
Yeah.
You're talking about touchy-feely members, like Godmonger, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Terra, a hardcore PvP server. We were totally going to do that.
Because I am velvet.
You know what?
Well, no.
You probably wouldn't have been
I think Mocker
kicked
was
off.
good.
I would have stuck by you if we had been on a PvP server, but that's why.
That was our mistake.
Now, I was going to say, because Scrivian was in on that. He was my first officer.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I said, I want to be on PvP. He agreed.
Yeah.
I said, but I had to come out and say, dude, we go PvP.
Most people are not going to go.
Most people are going to bail. Yeah, they're going to bail. So do we want to keep the cool people with us, or the ones that Scriv likes, or do we, just say fuck those people and go PvP? I couldn't do that. Like I said, the people.
I mean, it would have. Well, it doesn't fit our purpose very well as a group, especially then.
So hold our alts on the PvP servers.
So Scrivian, bring us away, man.
Well, I mean, my topic ties right into this one, so it kind of works because I think it's part of the thing with finding the next big game, or the next big game for a group, especially when you're playing with friends. Is I think when you're trying to find the next big game, it's because you've lost what you had in your first MMO, and I think, and an example. I mean, there are a couple of examples that we have, and people I talk to are very, very attached or have fond memories of their first MMO, meaning the one that they were in at or near launch or whenever they first started ever playing MMOs, and they played it for a long, long time, and so you grew up with the game. For me, it was Star Wars Galaxies, and so that was the first MMO I ever played, and it had its issues, and there were queues, and there were issues with the servers, and there were all kinds of stuff, and then of course whatever SOE did to the game, but the systems that are in that game with the crafting and the 32 professions that you had, or 31 professions you had, and the way that you can mix and match and do all those things are things I haven't seen, and I'm like, I want that in a game. And I was in a guild on that, and we built a city and we did all that stuff. So it's like, I want those kinds of things. I think it's maybe that's what's kind of drawing me to the repopulation right now, is because and the crafting's not like it. The crafting is complex, which I like a complex system. But a lot of the game, if you look, I was on YouTube today and I looked up. There's an article with I think it's J.C. Smith at PAX 2013, PAX East. There's an interview talking to him about the repopulation, and he's talking about a lot of the upper end content of the game comes from. They're not guilds; they're rogue nations, and rogue nations, or when a guild gets together, depending on your size, will be able to build and control player cities, right? And it's the interaction of those player cities in the neutral areas between the two main factions, because I mean, basically the rogue nations are the player guilds, or player nations, are their own faction, and you can align with either of the two big ones, or just be on your own. And you're in the player cities are in PvP zones, so guess what? Your city can be sieged.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or your nation. I'm sorry, your nation, your nation can actually have more than one city. Can have multiple cities, but they can be under siege. You can be attacked. You can lose territory or have your city overrun and destroyed. So I mean, maybe it's that whole thing of building. And one of the things that the same thing is drawing us to Arcade. That's another one of the big games we were talking about. Mocker was the player built city. So I don't know if it's the sandbox portion of it, because I mean, Star Wars, we had quests. I did quests. I didn't do player made stuff. So I wouldn't say it was fully sandbox, but it had the crafting, and I don't know, it had a lot of things in there that I thought, I don't know, it made accomplishing things worth it. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, like that, I don't know, that crazy nostalgia, and that's, we do jump from game to game looking for that. And what I think what happens a lot though, and now a lot of them, because everybody's talking and we're all talking about games and whatever, is that the games are getting blamed for all these new things. And a lot of the truth is, like, I love some of, like, Dark Ages was my first MMO that I really played in, but I probably played it more like a single-player game than I did like a true MMO. So really, Warcraft was the first time that I ever jumped into a raid, which would be the first time I ever did a full-scale group, hey, here's people I have to actually talk to you, we're going to do stuff. And so I'm, of course, and I still play that, I'm still raiding it, it's still a lot of fun. But a lot of that stuff, like, there are things that, like, I miss, and then, like, even now, like, we jump back into these old games, and like, oh, I want to go back and play that. And then after about a week, I remember why they changed it. Because it was, you know what I mean? Like, we have that, everything, what is it, rose-colored lenses, or whatever the stupid expression is. We always look back, and we're always like, oh, that was actually pretty fun. And then we go back and do it, and we're like, actually, it was terrible. And that's why we stopped doing it. Thank God we don't do that anymore. And I think that's what we just get into. You know what I mean? We are looking for the next best thing. But, eventually, I just want, somebody to put all the things I like from the 80 different games into one, so I only have to play one. Because I don't have time to level 800 tunes. But I will, and I do.
I will,
and here I am. So, woo! Hi, I am an addict.
Addict?
You're a dick?
I'm an addict.
What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Apparently I talk weird, too.
I mean, what is it about the first game? Or the one you're hooked on?
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I know this is even going to sound worse. It's the goddamn Germans. It started off, because just like you guys said, it was the first experience I had doing a particular aspect of an MMO. For Lineage 2, of course, it was the PvP. It was, even though I didn't know it at the time, it was the true open world, the only safe place you have is in town kind of a place. So if you go outside of town, anybody, any level can kill you for any reason. So I didn't look at it as anything.
So mass murder is your thing. Gotcha. Okay.
Actually, yeah. Well, when I got with the Germans, they were like, the way we want it is if we have a bridge. Seriously, I know it sounded. I know you're making a connection. But he would say, back the guy that used to run it, his name was Oxy Urana. But
man,
he would say, if we got a bridge. And it's the only way to get to a certain area. We'll stand on the bridge and kill people until they pay us money, and then we'll still kill them.
Which says, well, is that the way it's going to be in Arcade?
No,
With the pirates?
I don't know.
Because everybody's going to be farming and like fucking sheep, like wooling sheep and stuff, and all the other. Apparently, because that's the coolest thing to do in Arcade for money is just like
grow sheep.
Have a bunch of farm animals.
Can we go kill their sheep?
They better show me some fixes.
Kill their sheep.
Oh man,
that one right now.
That was good times.
So seriously, I don't know.
Play it unless they have some changes implemented on that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you can get back to that nostalgia because I don't know. Maybe it's maybe you can't. And I'm just going through this in my mind, and maybe it's you can't get back to it because in your first MMO you don't know anything. You know nothing. I mean, you know nothing about MMOs. You never played them before. You don't know what it is. So you're learning all of this stuff. So maybe you gain a fondness for it that way of learning the systems and how to do this. Now we jump I jump from MMO to MMO. The first thing I do is jump in, rebind all my keys so they match every MMO I've ever played, so that I move exactly the same way that I do in every MMO. I redo my HUD if I can do that, so my chat's where I want it, and so basically I'm recreating the last MMO I just played. It's true. With a new skin on top of it.
Do that.
It's absolutely true.
So, maybe you can't get that nostalgia back, or maybe it's going to take some groundbreaking, brand new concept of MMO. When we finally get that chip in your head and you're in the virtual world, to be like, oh, this is the best game ever.
Yeah, and I think nostalgia is just always going to be that. Nostalgia. Like there's always going to be something fond to look back on, and that's what like we get into these debates sometimes when I hear people be talking team speaking. God, I hate that game, and like you played it for like 700 years, so you don't hate it. You just are tired of it, and you don't want to play anymore. And that and that's it. Like it. We get jaded just the same way as we get nostalgic. Like the things that we don't like are. magnified in the same way. So
True.
whatever.
It's true.
It's part of the thing.
True. All right, Steve, what do you got this week?
Yeah, from one one communist country to another. Tell us your topic. Now, Steve.
I don't think we're going. Yeah, we're not going to the North Korean gaming market, are we?
No, yeah, because they're so saturating the market. You know what I mean?
I have.
I'm telling you what, the thing I was noticing all week, well, I've been noticing a lot, but the one thing that was sticking in my mind this week is that, especially with Stepperoo, man, I mean, that dude is dominating my MMO information in the last month or two. And I'm telling you, it just seems like that the Korean market is shooting out these large Terra-type MMOs, either on the martial arts side or the or what we're used to, the stick and board and magic side. I mean, every month there seems to be 2 or 3 being released, or should I not released, but going into a CBT or a closed beta testing. Every month there's 2 or 3 of them. I don't understand. I understand NC Soft it's a big place and they like to make a lot of shit, but they're not the ones doing it all, man. There are companies out there I've never heard of them.
Yeah, a game or 2 a week. MMOs, new MMOs.
Perfect World Entertainment.
Week.
What about Perfect World Entertainment?
Right. Have you looked at their B list of games, man?
Perfect World Entertainment is a Chinese company.
Yeah,
But I mean, in fairness,
they're loaded full of games. They're all shitty as hell, but
I'm imagining the labor making these games is cheaper. I don't know.
You're saying the developer costs. Developer costs.
It's amazing.
So they don't really have to lay off people at the end of game development because
I don't know if that's what he's saying or anything. I think the implication is
might be.
The listener.
Well, I mean, it's interesting you say, because I was reading an article today as I go through and read the news and get the Twitter feeds from different gaming companies. And one of the things, I can't remember where I read the article today. The company that does, is it Red Dead Redemption? Grand Theft Auto? Those guys? Yeah, they're getting, is it Rockstar, I know, makes it. I don't know if that's the publishing company behind them. But they're looking to do, they have an idea for, I think, 2 MMOs that they're going to do. Yeah, they're releasing them in the Korean or Asian market. They're not even going to bother with the North American, Europe. They're like, you know what? We looked at the market, and we have friends in the MMO market who had great plans, had great IPs, and they failed miserably in the Western market. He goes, the Western market is just not an MMO market. He goes, the Western, they're so fickle, they jump around, and then, he goes, in the, one of the things that was, I was looking at, that's me reading into what he said, but what they did say was, in the Asian market, there's always 10 to 20 strong MMOs going. 10 to 20, just strong, plowing through.
Yeah.
In the U.S., it's like, we're just kind of, I don't know, next big game.
It's a lot of people.
We are a culture. The Western culture is a culture of gaming ADD.
And yet, we're also a culture
looking for the next big
giant, huge people who sit around and watch TV and play games all day. So you would think that we would succeed.
Yeah,
in that department, but I don't know.
I don't think we have I don't think the talent who can do that wants to stay here, and I'm not sure I understand why. Because the people that can make those sort of games, you're not. Well, I got to give you, like Red 5.
Take the culture back, though. I mean, things that are okay in the Asian market, are a pain in the ass to get through the Western market. I mean, you look at the whole Elin controversy with Terra.
Yeah.
It was just
I'm sure there's a lot of.
I mean, I say Western culture, but then go into the U.S. specifically, and we're more prudish than the Europeans are. Europeans have topless commercials. You're not going to see that in the U.S. Holy crap! Throw that in a video game, NC-17, which isn't going to stop any parent from buying it for some whining kid who wants that MMO, anyways. But
still, we're screwing up the MMO market with our addiction to being against pedophilia. God damn it!
See, I didn't see the
ruining it.
Elins, man.
The Elins. Good lord.
That's a bunch of shit. I mean, to me, I know there's going to be people not like this.
No, I know they have here.
But it's the goddamn religious right that are controlling these, these morality market restrictions and regulations. Yeah. You got
Be
the
on MSNBC here
morality.
soon.
You get the morality regulators that say that's not right. You shouldn't be able to show things like that. Well, who the fuck are you? You know, who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and can't see? Go fuck yourself, or and get the fuck out of my life. You know that's who's doing it. You know that's who's controlling the market. Or if you get, and in Korea, I don't think you're going to have that problem. I mean, that was. Have you seen Blade and Soul, man, or that all chick MMO that they built?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a horror MMO. That's awesome. I mean, that's an awesome looking game. I can't wait to play that. It's a horror MMO. Every character in it is a chick that looks like she's a pole, man.
There's a target market for everything.
Well, yeah, I think Mocker. I think you've opened a realization in my head. I see now why the government is not admitting that we have contact with aliens. I've got it. Yeah. You know why? Yeah. I'm gonna. The first time I'm putting this out on YouTube right now, right? Because it's gonna be in our video. This is an exclusive. I just figured it out. Mocker has it. It's the whole thing, because if you think about Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because they saturate you with images so that the public just accepts it. So you think of the Greys, right? What do you think of the Greys? Big head, big eyes, little mouth. They're naked. They look like the little people naked.
God,
we can't release that to the public. We can't admit we've ever met them because they're naked kids. That's it. No, no contact.
I'm scared.
Not gonna happen.
Naked. Sorry.
There's something wrong with you, dude. There's absolutely something wrong with you.
What? I just tied in the same thing. This is why we don't have
you tied nothing.
You
tied nothing. You're just leaving out the fact that the Elans, are your typical Korean or Southeast Asian 10-year-old looking girl, with hardly anything on. They always make their shit like that. I don't understand why they're fascinated with the whole very short dwarven looking chick, who dresses like a slut.
I'm not going to talk about that because I think we've pissed off enough groups
at some
in this show already. And I
got to say something. We're going to get into a level of humor that we don't have a level of credibility left to speak to. Someday we'll be able to make jokes like this, but it's not today.
I made them, and I'll stand by them. There was not a fuck given on their opinions on this. So, my balls are free for them to suck. That's all I'm saying about it. Come
you go. Free.
Come watch our podcast.
Free. Tagline for the show this week.
Yeah.
Free to suck.
That one up. I think Mocker has taken it to the explicit extreme on this one. That's right. With the exception of jumping up and showing us his ass on the video screen. So please don't do that. Don't. I will have to edit that out.
If I do that, man, you guys will never be the same.
You're right.
You're like, oh my god, what was that? Right. I don't know, but I can't see.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, I got obsessed over the whole Korean push on all these games this last week, and I really put some thought into it. God, man, can you imagine the publishers over there they must be day in and day out in a constant state of trying to sell something when it comes to the new. Yeah.
Dude, I just can't wait till you do get into that all-female MMO, and they have like a cash like strip club where you can throw real cash at it. This guy, you think he spent a lot in Lineage?
There's your
platinum member. He's going to be in the VIP popping the real bottles at home on the stream.
It's the opposite of Funcom's The Secret World, right? In that game, you pay to take the clothes off. Everyone you run into will have fewer clothes on if you pay $5 a month.
If you pay this amount. Nah, God, for God's sakes, I can't go down that road. But anyway,
this guy would have to cancel all of his other site subscriptions, and that would totally ruin his day.
Yeah.
Hey, you wouldn't believe how much I've cut back. I cut back a lot. I have cut back.
I don't know where the show's going now. There's no gaming for the rest of the show. If you're watching for gaming, it has ended. We're not gaming anymore.
Yeah. Well,
we're going to a dark place now.
We're not because I'm going to end the show. We're done. We got to stop. I want to be able to do more episodes and have people come back and
Sweet.
This is but I don't want it to be like it was when I was in the military. You had the joke evaluations that came out, and you'd see all the little bullets that go on the back of officer fitness reps' fitness reports and evaluations and stuff. I don't want the show to be like, I think it's from a British evaluation that said his men will follow him anywhere, if only to see where he's going. You know, I don't want the show to be that way. Let's just see who's going to piss off this week.
Come follow me. Come follow me.
That is it.
Way to somber down the entertainment value from Godmocker into some strange quote I've never heard. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you'll remember it for the rest of your lives.
Fine, I'll cut it out.
Watch next week, guys.
I'm going to
New
work
topics.
All right.
And
Let's go
be
to
sure
the
to watch
ending.
to find out what Mocker's going to say next.
Yeah, watch and see what topics next week. Next week, he's talking about why are there no fully nude MMOs? And actually, there are.
He'll be touching Tad on the Iraqi regime as well, so we'll get through them all. Thanks.
I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. The hosts again are myself, Don, Steve, Dwayne. You can follow us on HTTP GTFO. You can see it right there on the screen. I know you guys can't see it, but I can see it. GTFO Tempest Name Task. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Contact us via the Gmail account. Opening credit songs, blah, 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 blah. And we hope you guys have a great week, and we look forward to seeing or hearing from you. Let's get some feedback. Tell us how well we're doing,
no doubt.
or how bad we suck, and what we need to change. Have a great week.
Get that guy removed from the host list. Who is that guy?
Yeah.
Fellow.
Yeah.
All right, night.
Yeah.
Ran up on me, one grain is a crime. Looking at me, looking at me, dread one, looking at me face, and you can't forget. Rude boy, throw your hands in the air. Like a way that the saloon know that we don't care. Rude boy, with your hands in the air. Until morning come, we know where the party there. Hey mama, la fiesta comenzó, vámonos, vamos, ese bautizo va a cambiar mi carada. Voy a hacértelo como hacer limonada. Fácil de preparar y no me dirás nada. Estoy arrepentido como fiesta pagana. Mi pana, no fuimos hasta mañana. Toda esa carne moviendo esa nalga. Y yo con mi cara te encuentro anal. I'm in there with you. Dime que te falta. Throw your hands in the air. Mano arriba salta. When me there with you. Dime que te falta. Throw your hands in the air. Mano arriba salta. Rápido, nítido, eso me dicen al charlar. Hábil con mi roto, eso me dicen al follar. Baby, bateguear, estoy listo para hacer tu mal. Pero hands up, baby, coming hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Todo el mundo mano arriba, ya llegó el road boy. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Todo el mundo mano arriba, ya llegó el road boy. Baby, está rica, mami, solita, tu cinturita. Yo la quiero coger. Tica, tu mamacita, estás bien loquita. Y nos vamos pa'l motel. Está rica, mami, solita, tu cinturita. Yo la quiero coger. Tica, tu mamacita, estás bien loquita. Y nos vamos pa'l motel. España girl can sing ragamuffin. Well, John Black say me wanna tell you something. She said España girl can sing dance hall. Me shoulders are like bullets, seguro no nothing at all. What them I want, shout ya. Them I want, them I want, school ya. What them I want, chat ya. Them I want, them I want, roll ya. Hands in the air. Put your hands up, put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Todo el mundo mano arriba, ya llegó el road boy. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. Todo el mundo mano arriba, ya llegó el road boy. Yeah, DJ Shaky. Check it, listen up. This one I be all the freaky girl, them they hear who have it broke. Look up, if you wanna see me like that, that's right, like that. So let's up in the air. All the girls them have it broke up.